This is so exciting that your teen is thinking about being baptized. And I know as a parent, this can be a very exciting time for you, but also at the same time, maybe you're a little bit nervous or maybe you just have questions about this whole process. As I've talked to a lot of parents in the past, many parents wonder, is my teen ready to be baptized? Or what does my teen need to know before they're baptized? And so I'd like to talk just for a few minutes about some of these things. I got 3 things that you need to be aware of and think about as you're talking to your teen about them being baptized. First of all, teens have to understand that they are lost. I've talked to many teens before, and I'm talking to them about salvation and about getting baptized, and I've asked them, if you were to die today, would you go to heaven? And many teens have answered, yeah, I think I would go to heaven. And this is actually not good. Teens have to understand that they're lost before they can be saved. Teens have to understand that they're not saved because they go to church. They're not saved because they're a good person. They're not saved because they haven't done a lot of bad things. They're not saved because they give money or do good things, but they're saved only because of God's grace and because of what Jesus did for us on the cross. Teens have to realize this. This is foundational to Christianity. And so to realize that, they have to understand that they're lost. That is only because they come into contact with Jesus' blood that he shed on the cross. This is what saves them. This is what even verses like Ephesians 2 and verse 8 says. It says, for it is by grace you have been saved through faith. This is not of yourself. It is a gift of God, not of works, lest any man should boast. And so they have to realize that they're lost before they can be saved. Second of all, they have to realize that this is just a first step. I've seen this happen over and over and over again, to where teens who've been going to church, who've been a part of the youth group, they go ahead and they get baptized and they don't ever come back. And I don't always know the reason why this happens, or they come very little in the future. I don't know the reason why all this happens, but I think sometimes they think, well, I've done everything I need to do. I've checked that box and I'm good to go. Teens have to realize that this is just the first step. This is not the end of the process, but it's just the beginning of the process. And so teens need to realize that I'm not completing something, but I'm beginning something. I'm starting a new chapter of a long story that God has laid out for us. And third, going along with number 2, that this is the beginning of the journey, it's not the end of the journey. And so as you're talking with your teen about being baptized, we don't focus on baptism as an end result, as the completion of a journey, but again, it's just the start of the journey. That once you're baptized, then you need to talk to your teens about, okay, what does it mean now that you're a Christian? What does it mean now that you have a relationship with Jesus? What does it mean now Jesus is the Lord of your life? What does this look like? How does this play out? What is required of us as Christians? And so we talk to our teens about all that Jesus wants us to do and what it looks like to live a Christian life. You know, it would be like preparing so much for a wedding and getting all the details ready for the wedding and planning and preparing for the wedding, but not doing anything to prepare for the marriage. This is kind of what some people do with baptism. They plan and prepare to be baptized and go through baptism and learn about baptism, and they get baptized, and no one has prepared them to say, okay, what does the rest of your life look like now that you're married to Christ? And so before a teen is baptized, we need to prepare them and lay the groundwork and say, okay, when you get baptized, this is how your life is going to have to change. These are the things that are going to have to be different. Teens need to understand this going into the process of making Jesus the Lord of their life. Going along with this, I don't even like to talk about just being baptized, because this is not what it's about. This is not the end result. This is only a step in the process. It's only a means to an end. Instead, when I like to talk about this, I like to say, well, what does it look like to start a relationship with Jesus? What does it look like to make Jesus and God the Lord of your life? This is what we're talking about. This is what's important, not just baptism in and of itself. And so as you talk to your teens about this, and as you're thinking about this, I wanted to let you know that I have resources to help you out. I have several Bible studies that I've done with teens over the years that I've edited and perfected over the tons of Bible studies that I've done with teens one-on-one. And I'd be willing to share these resources with you, that I'll give these resources to you that you can use as you talk to your teens. Or I'd be willing to do those studies with your teens. I would love to have a chance to sit down with your teen and go through those studies, or go through those studies with you and your teen. And so I would love to be of any assistance that I can be. Just let me know any way I can help, and I would be glad to do it. Have a blessed day.